Hi, the answer to the next question may be obvious to most people, but I'm going to cover it anyway, and that is, why does anyone need to, quote, build a world, unquote? Well, there are two situations where this can be useful, games and stories, whether it's novels, short stories, anywhere in between. In the case of games, another term that's used is the setting, where you're not making up an entire world, but you are making up everything that involves a world in a smaller area. For example, in Dungeons and Dragons, you had an Arabian Nights setting. So the setting and in the world, which is what it amounts to, can be part of the adventure because it makes a difference to what players can do, or what characters can do, I should say, and what can happen. And in stories, it's the same thing. If there are no horses in the particular setting for the story, then nobody's going to ride horses. And there are lots of less obvious ones than that. So while you may not make up a world, if you don't, you are using a default setting. In fantasy role-playing, that default setting is roughly high medieval with magic use added in, but not very important. If you're writing a typical story, your default setting is the world as it is, perhaps at a particular time and in a particular place. So you don't have to make anything up because it's already been known. You have to maybe research to find out what is known about it, but you don't have to make things up. In the case of fiction, if you're not set in a default setting, then you have to make things up. And most of this course is about how to make things up sensibly and interestingly, and so that you won't break the immersion that's important to games, because this is mostly about games and not stories, even though some of it applies to stories. So, a 2.5 minute answer to a simple question. Thanks for listening.